Meanwhile Aurora showed her gracious light to miserable mortals, bringing back their work and tasks. And now Father Aeneas, now Tarchon, raised the pyres for funerals along the winding shore. There Trojans, Tuscans, Arcadians, each following his father's old customs, brought their dead. The dark fire set, the black smoke hides steep skies. 3 times they marched around the burning pyres in gleaming armor. 3 times the horsemen circled death's sad fires, their voices wailing. Tears stream on the ground, tears stream across their weapons. Cries of men, the blasts of trumpets climb as high as heaven. Now some of them fling spoils into the flames, stripped from the slaughtered Latins. Helmets, bridles, and handsome swords, and glowing chariot wheels. And then the gifts of these familiar arms, the dead men's own, their shields and luckless shafts. And many bullocks' bodies lie about and sacrificed to death, and bristling swine and sheep are seized from all the countryside and butchered on those fires. Down that long beach men watch their comrades burning and keep guard beside the smoldering piles. They cannot tear themselves away until the damp night wheels through heaven studded with the glittering stars. Elsewhere, and no less zealous, the sad Latins raised high their countless pyres. The many bodies are buried on the spot, and some sent off to neighboring towns, and some into the city. The rest are burned, a giant heap of tangled butchery without number, without honor. And all of that wide countryside is bright with rival crowded fires. And when the third morning had exiled cold shadows from heaven, the Latins sadly swept into a heap the bones and ashes mingled in the remnants of fire, and piled on earth still warm with embers. But now the loudest keening, greatest grief are in the houses, in the city of rich Latinus. Here the mothers and their sons' poor wives, the loving breasts of sisters in mourning, boys deprived of fathers curse the dreadful war, the wedding rites of Turnus. They cry that he himself, and only he, should risk the war's result by arms and sword, since it is he who asks for Italy's kingdom, and for first honors for himself. Ferocious Drances waits his accusations. He testifies that Turnus is the only one whom Aeneas calls upon, the only one whom he wants to battle. But against him are many who speak up in different ways for Turnus. He is sheltered by the queen's great name, his fame, the trophies he has won. But in the middle of this heated brawl, this angry fracas, the ambassadors come back from Diomedes' city. Sadly they carry this reply, that all their work has gone for nothing, gifts were of no help, nor gold, nor their entreaties. Latium must seek out other arms, or else must sue the Trojan chief for peace. And even King Latinus sinks beneath his grief. The anger of gods, the new-made graves that he can see, all these serve as a warning that Aeneas is called by fate, the will of gods is clear. Therefore Latinus calls a solemn council of chiefs, who are to meet in his high palace, and there they all converge through crowded streets. Latinus, eldest and the first in power, sits at the center. Now he asks the envoys who have just returned from the Aetolian city to tell their tidings, setting out the answers that Diomedes sent, complete, in order. Then every tongue is still, as King Latinus has asked, so Venulus reports to him. O citizens, we have seen Diomedes and his Greek settlement, have made our way through every trial, have touched the hand by which the land of Ilium fell. We saw him building a city called, after his father's race, Argyripa, set near Garganus's hills, among Iapygian fields that he has conquered. When he had entered and received his leave to speak, we offered first our gifts, announced our name and country, told him who had come to war against us, what brought us to Arpi. He heard, and then he answered us serenely. O happy people, sons of Saturn's kingdom and old Ausonia, what fortune stirs your quiet state? What lures you to incite uncertain war? All we who violated the fields of Ilium by sword, I do not speak of the suffering that ground us down in fighting under those high walls, the men whom Simois swept up. We have endured tortures across the globe, such penalties of crime as never can be told. Even Priam might well take pity on our band. Minerva's evil star, Euboean cliffs, Caphereus the avenger, they know this. For driven from that war to other shores, the son of Atreus, Menelaus, went as far as Proteus's pillars in his exile. Ulysses set his eyes upon the Cyclops of Etna. Shall I tell you of the kingdoms of Neoptolemus, of household gods lost by Idomeneus, of Locrians on Libya's coast? And even the Mycenaean, the leader of the great Achaeans, was cut down, and just beyond his threshold by the right hand of his execrable wife, after he had conquered Asia, and adulteral, still lay in wait for him. And for himself, surely the gods need not have grudged me this. Return to my own homeland's altars, my beloved wife and lovely Calydon. And even now dark omens hunt me down. I see my lost companions seek the air on wings, or wandering about the streams as birds, a fearful torment for my comrades. They fill the crags with tearful cries. And this is the fate that waits for me, since when insane I raised my sword against the bodies of gods and violated with a wound the hand of Venus. No, do not provoke me into such a battle. More, since Troy is fallen now, I have no quarrel with Teucrians, and I do not recall with joy the old trials of that war. Take back the gifts you bring me from your native shores, and give them to Aeneas. We have stood against his cruel lances, we have fought against his troops. Listen to me, believe one who has tried him, how he lifts his shield and how he casts his lance just like a whirlwind. Had Ida's land borne two more just like him, the Trojans would have even reached the towns of Inachus. Her fates reversed, Greece would have mourned. In all that long delay before Troy's sturdy walls, it was Aeneas's hand and Hector's that kept back the Greeks, that checked their victory until 9 years had passed. Both were remarkable for courage, both excelled in arms, but first in piety, Aeneas. Join your hands to him in treaty as best you can. Beware of setting arms against his arms. Best king of kings, Latinus, you have heard what Diomedes answered, what advice he gave to us on our great war.